Hi, everybody, and welcome to the audio version of our Exploration newsletter for the week of December 4th, 2020. And as always, a special shout out to Heidi So and Julius Ramos, who compile our newsletter. And now, not exactly the news you'd expect. Last week, we introduced you all to the Music Industry Report 2020, and today we're starting the first in a series where we will present some of our findings. So let's jump right in. Nashville's music industry is growing. Based on historical data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and Economic Modeling Software, not yet taking into account the financial implications of COVID-19, Nashville's music industry cluster represented 16,298 jobs in 2019, with an average annual earnings of $81,521. Direct music industry employment has increased by 29% in the region since 2012. Nashville is currently third in the nation in terms of jobs in the music industry, behind Los Angeles and New York City. The region has the highest location quotient of employment in the music industry of any metropolitan statistical area in the United States. A location quotient tells the amount of a region's share of employment in a specific industry as a percent of total national employment for that industry. Looking at the top 10 metropolitan statistical areas in the United States for music industry jobs and job growth, over the 10-year period from 2009 to 2019, the Nashville MSA ranks first for net job growth and growth rate. Even in terms of net job growth, the Nashville MSA had 5 times the net job growth of Los Angeles and 200 times the job growth of NYC. Live streaming is a promising new media emerging during COVID-19 for performing artists. Among respondents to our survey to the music industry, live streaming was ranked number 1 among non-live sources of revenue. While 83.9% of music creators surveyed did not perform any live stream concerts between March and April of 2019, 82.8% of music creators performed at least one live stream concert between March and April of 2020. Data from the consumer survey sends some mixed messages when it comes to the success of live streaming. 58.5% of respondents attended a live stream between March and April of 2020. This is a 32.5% improvement from March through April of 2019. Comparing a live concert experience to a digitally streamed concert, 50.2% said it's nowhere near the real experience. 31.1% of people said it's pretty good, but not the same. Spotify is the number 1 way to listen to music among all surveyed consumers. 75% subscribe to a music streaming service. Second only to word of mouth, music streaming services are the primary way that respondents to the survey of music consumers discover new music, 20.9%. Most people listen at home, 52.3%, in a car, 31.5%, or at work, 11.5%. YouTube Music was the second most popular interactive digital streaming option, followed by Apple Music, then Pandora. AM/FM radio was second overall. CD and vinyl records were 4th and 5th, respectively. The music industry has an opportunity to become more diverse. Only 9% of music industry professionals in the United States are Black or African American. This compares to 8% in the Nashville region. In the United States, approximately 13% of the population is Black or African American. This compares to approximately 16% in the Nashville region. We hosted a focus group to examine the impacts of this and ongoing diversity and inclusion efforts in the city of Nashville. Key takeaways included hiring and job creation. Diversity has to be a commitment at all levels, especially in management, in order for the music industry to improve. It has to be built into the infrastructure of the music industry for it to last. Intentionality. Blackout Tuesday was the key to opening the door to conversations about diversity in many spaces, but representation is still an issue. Ownership. Ownership of record labels, of space like the National Museum of African American Music, and of space for Black creatives is crucial for an equitable industry. Sustainable opportunities. Creating sustainable and repeatable business opportunities and infrastructure for creators is necessary for representation and inclusivity to endure. That's all the tidbits we have for you this week. We definitely hope you've enjoyed a little sneak peek into the Music Industry Report 2020. We'll have a few more insights for you next week. We do want to thank all of our sponsors, everyone on the Exploration team, and especially Jacob Wunderlich for leading this effort. See the link in the description below to get your copy of the Music Industry Report 2020 when it's released on December 10th. Have a great weekend, everybody, and even as the COVID crisis continues, we're all going through a lot. So please, don't forget to be kind to each other.